map here is a map of every single creek and stream in Clark County. This is Clark County here. This is the Columbia River, Lake Vancouver, Lacamas Lake, Merwin Lake. The county needs this information for their planning department because say I want to build a new project right here. Well, we need to know what watersheds are in the area and what kind of environmental concerns we need to be looking at in order to be approved. So the planning department has to monitor all this stuff, and this came from the Clark County Planning Department. This is available publicly via GIS, which is how I put this together. It's effectively a mosaic. So when I did it, I had to go online on my computer, and with about this much on my screen, I had to map out the entire county. So you might see red lines, and those are actually me going in and tracking where the creeks and streams are going. That was just me trying to keep track of everything as I was looking at it online. Well, I eventually printed it out and I made this mosaic. This is actually just several pieces of paper all taped together. We can look at exactly every single river, every single creek, every single stream in the entire county. And we can effectively reverse engineer where that money came from. So the money was found right here. Right where my pen is pointed right here. And the prevailing thought was that Cooper died when he landed, and the money just found its way over time here. Okay, well here's the situation. So at roughly 8:11, the time 8:11 to 8:12, I'm not exactly sure when, and the reason is because on the detailed map they describe it as 8:11 as the exact precise jump time. Himmelsbach himself has said 8:12, whatever it is, whichever you want to call it. This is where it happened right here. 1 minute earlier was right here. 1 minute later was right here. So you're automatically dealing with this. That'd be two minute window. Right here, full 2 minute window. 1 minute before, 1 minute after. And this is where it was. So Cooper was thought to land here. Okay, now I can look at the creeks in this area and know exactly that they go into the Lewis River. Okay, so let me just point this out to you real quick. There's 6 actual regions on this map. And then I'm going to give you a zoom in and I'm going to walk you through it a little bit. Okay, here, all these creeks and streams here are going into Yale Lake, Merwin Lake, Lewis River. Okay, they're shedding this way. Alright? Then, the actual biggest river in the county, the biggest watershed area is actually the East Fork. So the East Fork starts here where my hand is, and it goes all the way here. Now the problem with both the Lewis River and the East Fork, and they had joined before they joined together before they ever hit the Columbia. They hit the Columbia here. Now, this is actually, I believe it's about 10 miles. It's actually further than that. It's further than that, but it's for about 10 miles to where the money was found. Problem is, the water's going this way, so unless your money can swim upstream, that's impossible. So we know that he could not land anywhere in this entire region. But it goes even more than that. Salmon Creek is the next biggest. Salmon Creek is from here all the way here. It encompasses almost this entire, between the 3 of them, it encompasses almost the entire county. Alright? The 4th area is the Vancouver Lake. Well, that might seem appealing because Vancouver Lake is very close to where the money was found. The only problem is there's no way for that money to actually go from the lake to where the money was. And all this area here goes first into the lake and then out above where the money was found. So it actually comes out north again up here. It turns into Lake River. Lake River adjoins here. It's 9 miles away. 9 miles. So we know money cannot come from Vancouver Lake watershed area. The 5th area is Lacamas Lake. this one actually seemed to have some promise, because theoretically, the flight route, the plane traveled along this route right here. It came out here, it started turning, and it came here. Well, let's just say we're slightly off in our estimations, and the plane was half a mile east from there. Well, you're getting pretty close to, this is the Lacamas Lake region here. Okay? So you're actually getting somewhat close. You might theoretically be able to land in Lacamas Lake, where it would exit way down here, where you can't see off the screen, but it exits way over here, which is 12 miles upstream, I guess. So it would actually be able to flow downstream to where the money was found. But the only problem is there's an actual dam. We're talking about a lake. There's skimmers by this dam. There's fishermen on this dam, or on the lake. It's effectively impossible for that money to go into the Lacamas watershed and find its way. So it can't go there. The only place it can reasonably go, if you're going to argue that it got there all by itself, is Washougal. And that's what you always hear. You hear Washougal. You see guys like this Jerry Thomas guy out in the backwoods for 20 years looking out in Washougal, looking for him. Well, Washougal's right here. This little corner right here. The problem is that your flight path now has to be 14 land miles to the east to land in Washougal. 14 miles, that's 12 nautical miles. I talked about half a nautical mile being one standard deviation. That's 24 standard deviations. This was being monitored in real time by real people with real equipment from multiple agencies. So for that to have happened would be astronomical. Astronomical. So where did the money come from? Good question. I'm about to answer that. I'm going to get this camera in my hand. I'm going to show you a zoom of this map.